Let's say that you're the unfortunate soul that was gifted this microphone. Not just this microphone, but usually any cheap USB microphone where there's an inherent amount of noise or staticness that is independent of your room noise. It's not a fan, it's not a refrigerator, it's not your computer laptop fan, it's just noise that you cannot deal with. If you use OBS, you probably know how to kind of deal with this, but I want to show you how you can do this with Audacity, a free open source tool that you can download, Windows, Linux, Mac support. And we're going to go from something like this.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal.
And that has a lot of noise in it to something like this.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal voice.
So that has a substantially lot less noise to start with for clean audio. I was doing another method to this. However, an Achilles heel of this specific microphone is that it is a 16-bit interface. And if you do the method I was trying, which is you record very low to try to get the clear separation of your voice in the floor noise or the self noise of the USB microphone, because it's 16-bit, when you try to do the separation, the static was still like in there, and you can't really separate it anyways, but there wasn't enough data from being 16-bit. Zeal Sound is another like cheap brand. They actually have like 24-bit systems. So obviously if you have that, you're going to be much better situation than this is. This is kind of one of the worser cases to work with. And I want to walk you through that and how you can push it even further on macOS or Windows. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just mute this real quick, and then we're going to come back to this one here. It's just two operations that we're going to do, but the first one is getting the recording correct. I'm going to give you just a quick little rundown here. I'm in my macOS settings. You can go to your Windows settings for your audio interface or for your microphone. I have it at 100%. It doesn't really matter. Basically, when you want to record as high as you can, and then we don't want to peak. So you're going to want to just gauge where you can. I have my gauge knob here, my gain knob here, this little thing, about 45% of the way of the full rotation. That's to give you some idea. And right now, if I was to actually yell right where I'm facing it, it would peak out and I wouldn't be able to recover that audio. But by being so loud, I'm hopefully having enough separation, and the proximity of your voice to or your face to the microphone helps so much more. If you're further away in the room and you're trying to yell, there's going to be a lot more noise brought in too because of the signal to noise ratio. So anyways, what we're going to do is just select the clip after you've recorded it, go to effect, and we're going to go down to noise removal and noise gate. This is the biggest tool that we have. Now, this microphone in my settings, these are what works best. And the question is, how do you get to this point? How do I know these numbers work? And it's just trial and error. But there's only three numbers you need to track: the gate threshold, the level reduction, and the attack time. Attack time, I just put to 0. Just start there first. And then what I'll do for the level reduction is just chop this all the way down to 100, negative 100 decibels. And this is where I will start to work. And you can go ahead and preview. So we're going to go ahead and do a preview of just a 36.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal voice.
So you can hear my normal voice was fine. And actually it sounds a lot better. And there's no noise in not much noise in my normal voice, but the whisper, if you're doing like an ASMR and you're really trying to leverage this, under $30 microphone, this is where you do have to bring some of the noise back in, and this is where the level reduction is. So you would play with this number until your voice almost doesn't really fall off anymore. And then this is where you would start to play with the here. So I don't have to go to negative 30. I could go a little bit higher. So if I go to, or sorry, 32 was, what was that? We'll do 34 maybe, and we can try this one more time.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal voice.
So in general, the the higher this number is, and I say higher like as in if it's 32 versus 34, that's 32 is technically the higher number because it's a less negative number. Um, the less of the noise can be brought back in, but your voice will drop off quicker. And so for regular talking, for voice acting stuff that is louder sounds, for a feminine voice, you're kind of in luck. But for me as a guy, I have a lower tone voice. And if I am doing something like a whisper, I really do need to bring some of that noise again. So I don't have the luxury to do a complete negative 100 decibel, and I have to bring some of it back. And you can mess with this. You can start from negative 60 usually and work your way up to see what you can bring back in for the actual noise itself. But yeah, so 32, I think was the where I had it at, and then we just hit apply. Now, the other thing is I intentionally over recorded the loudness, trying not to peak because you want to teeter at the limit before peaking because then you can still salvage the audio. If it sounds just blastingly loud, which it does sound right now, the next step is to go ahead, make sure you have it still selected, go to the effect and go to volume compress and normalize. Here, I will normalize between 3 and 6 decibels. This is the whole clip though. So if you're trying to bring up your whisper, you may want to select only the whisper part and do this. But generally, a 6 is a really safe number to do. And so if I go ahead and play this back now, there should be all that noise that was already there. Now we've kind of crunched it down some more, and it'll be even less coming in.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal voice. This is me talking really far away.
So that's where we got it. That is a good enough point to go ahead and ship off as a sound clip. There is some noise in the voice, but this is where you can take it a little bit further. And there's two approaches you can do this. You can do like a teeter back and forth, meaning that you can go to the noise reduction feature, get noise profile, and then go back to the noise reduction feature. And here's where I would say just do baby steps. Don't do large noise reductions all at once, because if you do little baby steps, you can bring the audio levels back up and back down, back up and back down. And so I do a 6.5 decibel for sensitivity, and then a lot of smoothing to try to prevent my voice from being lost. And so what I will do is I'll hit OK on this, and then I'll re-normalize it again. So I go to normalize again, normalize it back to the sensitivity I was at. And if I repeat this one more time, so I go to noise reduction, get another noise profile, go back here again, and then rerun, sorry, not do repair, but do the noise reduction, run it one more time, and then again, go back to the normalization, go back to the 6 decibels. And now if I play it back, some of the noise should be gone. It's not going to be completely gone, but some of it in my voice should be hopefully gone now this time.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal voice. This is me talking really far away.
So some of it's been dropped out. You can still hear little tidbits of it in here. If you're using speakers, by the way, you're not going to be able to tell any difference of any of this stuff. The speakers are terrible ways to listen back to your actual raw audio. So what I would do then is on Mac, you're kind of in luck because it's an easy tool. It's already built in. Apple has something called sound isolation, and you can run this on your voice. For whispers, this does not work well at all. So if we go ahead and preview this real quick.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal voice.
So some of my whisper is getting degraded, but for most people, that's probably fine. You can also switch to voice to sometimes help with the whisper section. So if I try this with just the voice.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal voice.
So a little bit better, but it sounds muffled. And so you can switch between these two. You can change the quality. Once you go beyond like 95, the noise will still be there because there's so little to start with. So this is kind of like a big hammer approach. You can run this before you do anything else, by the way, but I just don't like what it does to the quality of the audio, where else we've done previously retains the majority of all the nuance of your voice, all the details. This kind of like clobbers it out. So we're going to go ahead and just run this real quick. And then we'll go ahead and play this one more time.
This is a whisper of a voice. This is me talking in my normal voice. This is me talking really far away.
Okay, so you may have noticed I haven't talked about Windows. So with Windows, there is no sound isolation feature, but there is a plugin called OpenVino. If I go here, Audacity has a download link for this. Now, it's pretty simple to follow for instructions. It's an executable that you open, you install. I'm not going to really go into it. There is a dropdown that's added here for the effect. It'll be OpenVino, and then you go to noise suppression. Use Deep Filter Net 3. It's effectively the same thing, but it does a really, really good, a better job than the sound isolation from Apple's perspective. And you can kind of almost just solely rely on that if you want to. It will get rid of whispers as well. And so you do have to be careful about that. This is why I'd rather go through the noise gate normalization than noise reduction and Audacity first before jumping straight to the AI tools, because they do certain things with your voice that can sound muffled. But that's generally all I do. It's just for this microphone. For my other microphones, I actually do the reverse. I record at a very, very low level, and because they are running through a 24-bit interface, not a 16-bit, I can recover a lot of it and have a much better separation of that all there. Anyways, that's all I want to say for now. Hopefully this was a useful way to get clearer or cleaner audio sent out to your auditions, and good luck.